And then in the eighth inning, Isaac Paredes did some damage for the Houston Astros, making it a 5-2 game, which, brought the Astros a little bit of life because it was a 3-run game with Yordan Alvarez at the plate. To potentially, a home run would potentially make it a 1-run game. Obviously, Yordan Alvarez, that was not a successful at bat for him, since the Astros had 2 runs and not 3 or 4. Interesting for Isak. It's the first Astros. It was the first Astros hit that they've had with a runner in scoring position since opening day against the Mets when Yainer Diaz had an RBI single. Now, yes, I know on Saturday in the Astros when we saw Yordan Alvarez hit an RBI double, but Isak himself was at first base and went from first to home to score. And then you look at some of the other extra base hits. The only other extra base hit outside of Yordan Alvarez RBI double, and the Isak's double today was a Pena home run. No one was on base when that happened. That's crazy. That's the first Astros hit with a runner in scoring position since opening day when Yainer Diaz, I want to say, gave the Astros I don't know if that was the second run the Astros scored on Thursday, or if it was the third. I want to say it was the third, but it might have been the second. All right, 5-2 after the Isak double, and then Chapman, who's familiar facing this Astros team back when he was with Oakland, hit a RBI single to center. Adames and Lee scores, and it's 7-2. Astros at individual hitters today. Yeah, there's not much to talk about. Jose Altuve went 1 for 3 with a infield single, 6th inning. He had a walk. Now, his walk in the 6th inning, before that at bat for Altuve, Jordan Hicks had, I want to say it was 13, 14 straight retired batters, and Altuve did in that streak. He was lights out today. It was that kind of day for Jordan Hicks. But and then his next at bat, he had the 8th inning infield single. Isaac Paredes crushed one. First inning had a walk, then crushes one in the 8th inning, double to center to score 2 runs. Altuve and Smith, those are Isak's first RBIs as an Astro, and so you love to see Isak, kill one. And look, he was a little farther back, and that would have been Isak's first home run. And I think this is why the Astros brought him in. The power he's going to send to left field, to the Crawford boxes. I know he didn't get that up to the Crawford boxes, but he sent that one to left field, and it was a killer. So, and it drove in 2 runs. It, got to the wall and nearly got out for Isak's first home run as an Astro. So, the power he's going to bring sending baseball to left field is going to be, one of the key reasons why the Astros brought him into this team. And speaking of which, talking about guys that take advantage of the left field, the Crawford boxes, I forgot to mention this. Flores' 6th inning home run, the 3-run shot. Of course, the only place that is a home run is at Daikin Park. So, yeah, Houston's the only place you can hit that ball 350 feet left field, and that's a home run. And it's a 1 of 1, only in Houston. All right, Yordan Alvarez went 0 for 4 today, struck out twice, flied out, and lined out in the 4th and 6th inning. Not a great start off the season for Yordan. Batting 83 to start off the year. Only hit he has is the RBI double he had on Saturday. It's been a rough start to the season. It was a rough start to the season last year. I hope he can get it together, though. All right, Christian Walker, 1 for 4. A little bit better today, single to center. He's still making a lot of hard contact. And is hitting the baseball harder than anybody. I mean, he's on the list of hardest hit baseballs. He's on a list with guys like Judge, Vladdy, other guys. So he's just had some really tough luck. For instance, he had a single to center, and then like the other one, the fourth inning, he had this bat. He had a bat. Killed the ball to third, but of course you got a Gold Glove like Matt Chapman at third base. Christian Walker got thrown out. Christian Walker nearly got an infield hit off of this hit, but he it was a, I mean, most third basemen would not be able to make the play that Chapman made, and it would have been a double for Christian Walker. So that's kind of the tough luck he's had. People need to stop, like saying, "Oh yeah, this is Jose Abreu 2.0." It's not. He is hitting the ball really hard. He's just had some tough luck. You were able to see him get the hit today in the first inning. That was the Astros' first and only one of 3 hits today. So, but I think you're just gonna have to start to see, his luck changing around. I really hope that can happen soon. All right, Yanner Diaz 0 for 4. He's another guy in this lineup that's batting less than 100, and that's someone you need to get hot. That's someone that you need in this offense to get hot. 0 for 4 today. Jeremy Pena was 0 for 3 today. He did have a ninth inning walk. Another thing I want to point out, he did strike out today in the second inning. That was Jeremy Pena's first strikeout of the season. Last year, Pena was number 3 in strikeouts on the team, and so far through 4 games, he's only struck out once. And that was against, facing a pitcher in Jordan Hicks, who has dominated him in the past. Jordan Hicks going in today against Jeremy Pena was, Pena was 0 for 3 against Hicks with 2 strikeouts. So it's not surprising Pena had trouble against Hicks at all. So, I just think that, obviously it was an amazing day to walk, but it wasn't really an amazing day for this offense at all. But the way I look at this is he's the only guy to homer in this in this lineup, and that's one thing. But also the other thing is that he's striking out a lot less so far this season. I mean, another thing was he had 40 at bats during spring and only struck out 3 times. It's not like this is just a regular season thing. It was something that was happening for Jeremy Pena during spring training. So I think that's been a bright spot of this offense so far is JP striking out a lot less. Now, some of these at-bats need to be turning into hits and not other, like today popped out, grounded out in the 5th and 7th inning. So you'd like to see him, starting to turn into more hits. He is the only guy in this offense that hit a home run so far. But I've been impressed with his strikeouts being a lot down so far in the first 4 games of the regular season, and if we go back to spring training. So yeah. All right. Cam Smith was 0 for 3. He was hit by pitch in the 8th inning, scored a run off of that. Mercy Dubon 0 for 3 today, yet to have a hit. I thought this could be a good day for Dubon. He was 2 for 2 against Jordan Hicks with 2 doubles, but nope, struck out in his 2 at-bats facing Jordan Hicks. Grounded out to second to get Smith to second in the 8th inning. Jake Myers went 0 for 3. Flight out, grounded out to third, struck out swinging. Astros pitching, I talked about Rennell pitching 5 innings. Luis Contreras pitched the 6th, gave it 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Ryan Gusto made his major league debut. Well-deserved. Was supposed to pitch game 162 for this Astros team last year, but got rained out in Cleveland. Pitched 2 innings to the Astros, gave 2 hits, 1 strikeout, no earned runs, no walks. Not a bad 2 innings for Gusto. Also, I thought an impressive thing, 25 pitches through 19 strikes. Not only that, but through 20, it only took him 25 pitches to get 2 innings done, which means, he's averaging around 12 and a half pitches per inning, so not bad at all for Gusto. And then Montero, I talked about how bad he was in the 9th, gave up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, a strikeout, but we're used to this with Montero the last couple years for the Stros. So yeah, tough loss. I'm not feeling very confident at all for the Astros tomorrow. I'm excited to see the hometown kid pitch tomorrow, Hayden Wesneski. If it's going to be anything like what we saw with Jordan Hicks today, and Houston guy pitching in Houston, maybe that's what it's going to be like for the Astros tomorrow with Hayden being on the mound for the Astros. I really hope it is, but I don't think your odds are good with the way this offense has been hitting lately, and you have your number 5, your 5th starter on the mound, and the Giants have their number 1 starter on the mound in Logan Webb. So that's why I really don't like the Astros to win tomorrow. Do I have the Astros getting swept in this series? No, because then the Giants. It's a weird thing. The Giants have their number 1 starter, Logan Webb, starting tomorrow, and then on Wednesday in the series finale, they have the number 5 starter starting against Framber Valdez. So I think the Astros win. I predict the Astros will win the series finale easily on Wednesday. Now we'll see what happens tomorrow, but I don't like the Astros' chances with the offense having to go up against the number 1 starter for the Giants, and the Giants' offense, who looked great today, going up against the Astros' number 5 starter, who was a reliever, has been a reliever most of his career. So, but I hope I'm proved wrong. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.